This video will show you how to replace the front sway bar links on a Ford Edge. This is part of your front steering and suspension, located behind your front wheel. Let's get into it. A quick note about this job: when you do these, you do them as a pair. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we have to do is safely raise and support the front end of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. Once you've completed that, we're going to start removing the wheel. If you have a center cover, go ahead and remove that first. Typically, you're going to find a small slot that you could carefully pry in. For this, I'm just using a small pry bar. Once you've removed that, you're going to remove all 5 of your 19mm lug nuts, and then we can remove that wheel. Now that we have the wheel out of the way, as we continue on, we can see where our outer tie rod end is, we can see our sway bar and our sway bar link. Let's start removing the sway bar link. Looking up along where the sway bar link connects to the front sway bar, you can find that you have an 18mm mounting nut. Now, if you found that when you go to loosen this, the entire stud of the sway bar link spins, looking in the center of the sway bar link stud, you can see that there's a port for a 3/16 Allen head. You can either use that, or you could use some locking pliers along this area where the boot is and grab onto the stud in that area. It may also help you to use some heat on your mounting nuts. There's one. So now the lower hardware is on the forward side of the lower control arm. You can see it right along under the axle. There's our mounting nut. Should be able to take hold of this. We'll slide it in one direction or the other. There we go. Should be able to pull this out from the top as well. There it is, friend. Let's make sure we clean and inspect our mounting areas. Double check to make sure nothing's rotted or weak in any way. Now we can prepare to install our brand new front sway bar link. Let's get our mounting nut on there. Once both pieces of hardware are started on, we're going to bottom them out and then torque them to 66 foot-pounds. They're both snug. Let's torque them to that 66 foot-pounds. One last quick inspection in this area and we can reinstall our front wheel. Once you have all 5 lug nuts on there, we're going to bottom them out in a crisscross manner. We'll get the wheel safely on the ground and then torque each of the lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds. Now I have the wheel back on the ground. Let's go ahead and torque these to that 100 foot-pounds. Torqued. If you have a center cover, install that now. When we install the center cover, we'll make sure that our lug nuts align with the corresponding ports here. Press it in, double check to make sure it's secured all the way around. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. Now, the next thing you want to do is go over to the other side of the vehicle and repeat this exact same process. When you do these, you do them as a pair. Aside from that, go ahead and take your vehicle for a road test and listen for any odd noises. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.